Hi, welcome back. Welcome to growing. No. Oh my gosh. Welcome.
Hey guys! Hey everybody! Welcome back to Growing Up is Scary.
Yes, it is.
Finally got it.
We and our combined 1/4 of a brain cell are sitting on the couch today. There's been so much between this and last week's or whenever
So
it was.
much.
So much to where I had to put a ton of stuff on here, and then more has happened since what I put on here. So this could be a long one. We are currently in quite a weather predicament.
We're confused.
We're very confused as the Nashvillians that we are. We are confuzzled. It's snowing like the largest clumps of snow. It looks like foam. Like literally imagine
It's so weird.
a foam pit and that was the snow. And then also thundering and then also above freezing. So it's been a weird day at the house. It's been a weird time. I'll get the sad part out of the way.
Okay.
But my little cat Poppy passed away very suddenly. No pain, no anything, but that was an emotional toll of the day. I actually was gonna keep my hospital glam on since we have more viewers now, more people know. I was like, oh, let me look cute for them. Let me do the Tana and Brooke thing and like get, cute.
Full glam.
And then we were crying for like an hour and a half. So now we're just two girls being really real with you on the couch.
Absolutely.
Which is honestly the best way it should be, but
Yep. I feel like I should also disclose, if you can't tell by the cough,
I'm
sick-a-rooski.
We've both been having there's been a mysterious something or other going around all of Belmont.
Yep, because Riley lost her voice for like 4 days.
Horrifically. We were gonna podcast, and then my voice randomly said goodbye.
Yeah.
Literally could not find
like
it for 2
fully
days.
goodbye.
Yeah. Well, tell me, has anything fun been going on in your week or recently?
Like you've been by my
we've
side
been
the entire
together
time.
every day as if I don't know what's going on.
I know.
We have recruitment.
Yes. Didn't
What
you
are your-
love my little bid-day buddy?
I did, y'all. We've got some cutie little Phi's and Phi Mu. I love the girl that I pref that joined. Your girl's so sweet.
I love her. We just have so many great girlies, and I'm so excited to
Yeah.
get to know them.
I agree. I'm very happy. Recruitment's always a weird process because it's like it's a big love-hate, and I think as you get older and you're not looking for a little, it becomes a lot more hate than love. And so keeping the love present is kind of an active pursuit.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, seeing all the girls run home, it was wholesome and sweet. It was also on the Super Bowl day,
Which was
out of pocket.
bad planning.
So out of pocket. So that was pretty upsetting. Speaking of, we can get into this thing. We predicted last week who was going to win, and we both said the Chiefs.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
We predicted it, and the whole world predicted it, and Drake bet $1 million on the Chiefs saying he would not go against the Swifties, and he got a $2 million cash out. So,
and that's basically what I said. So basically, I am Drake and deserve the $2 million.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and we
where's my
also
money?
know Drake irresponsibly definitely gambled it all away in Vegas right after.
Like also $2 million, I feel like is pocket change to him.
Oh, 100. He wouldn't bet $1 million if he didn't literally not care at all about losing $1 million.
I'm gonna see what his net worth is.
Oh, it's upsetting. It's so upsetting. It's
What
so
is
stupid.
Drake's net worth? 200 million.
Okay, so
$1 million is nothing.
Okay, so he's fine. He's so fine.
He's
but,
so okay. Doesn't
yeah,
need to
they
worry
won.
about a thing.
I saw all the content of their relationship, and I think at this point I'm kind of just like, whenever you have a favorite food and you just buy and eat the favorite food so much to where now you're sick of the favorite food. I'm at that point.
It's done.
If I see one more reel of them kissing or singing love story in a club, I just might lose it.
I mean, football season is over, correct?
It's over.
All right.
They won. I just hope they have a wholesome private
And they're
little
gonna go
Valentine's
dark.
Day, but they won't. I feel like they've been on a high. I think their Valentine's Day. Also, apparently we're leading up to, like we said, their engagement of sorts.
Well, also that's just like the media, so we don't know for sure.
It's a total rumor, but
Yeah.
but that was crazy.
Yeah.
I know last time when we were filming, it was during the Grammys.
Oh yeah.
Did you see Doja Cat's Grammy look? Look it up right now.
I don't know if I did
And
or
when you
not.
look at it, you're gonna think, oh, that's fake and that's a part of the dress. That is her.
Okay.
And I just really had to include that because if my eyes had to see that, I feel like it's my role as your close friend to make you have to be shocked by it as well.
Oh.
That is her. That is not fake. That is literally her. Um, in what you're seeing. And that upset me.
Okay.
The silence is loud.
That's just so disturbing
But
to
that
me.
was upsetting to me because I really love every once in a while a few of her songs.
Ew.
Holistically, I hate her albums. But that just upsets me. Like, it's so sad to watch an artist you loved change so much in such a way. So that was just kind of my like nail in the coffin of like, okay, Doja, I can't go around saying I like you now. You've you've ruined that one.
I don't know if I ever was like a big Doja girl. I thought she was like silly, but I never listened to her music.
Paint the town red.
I know you love that song.
Just a little.
Loved that song.
It's so traumatic, honestly. Guess who's peeping on the Insta and viewing everything every day?
Wow, who's not shocked?
Who's not shocked and so upset for her literally every day? There he is, peeping away. I have a little story time, a mini one to start off while I was studying with Anna the other day. So we were studying for my first patho pharm exam of the semester, and a concept was seizures. And there's focal seizures and like generalized seizures, and
Mhm.
focal seizures is like a specific part of the brain has like a seizure, you normally remain conscious, where generalized it's like the whole body takes over, you typically lose consciousness, and that's where you get those like big contractions and
Mhm.
stuff. So we were reading the definitions, and the definition was that it's tingling or numbing starting in the extremities of the arm that then goes inward towards the body, encompassing the face, or like all the way the whole half of the body, can include your legs. And as I'm reading this definition, I'm remembering a moment that happened to me during high school that I still have no explanation for. I was sitting in a Firestone waiting room, the car fixer upper place, as I was taking my dad's vehicle to get fixed. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, my right hand starts totally numbing and tingling. And I'm not putting pressure on it. It's not like it's went asleep. I'm not hitting a joint, I'm sitting upright. It slowly spreads all the way up my right arm. And I'm videoing it on Snapchat, just my reaction. You can't like visually see anything. And then it travels into my face. And my whole right side of my face is numb. I'm like in my mouth, licking the left side of my inner cheek to the right side. I cannot feel my cheek on the right side of my tongue. I can feel the left. Everything's numb on my right side. And I'm sitting there like freaking out, videoing it. Goes on for maybe 15 minutes and then it fades away. And then I'm kind of weirded out because why? But then I drive home, take the car home, and then I'm driving somewhere with my mom. I'm like, hey, mom, something really funny happened to me today. I just completely lost touch of half of my right side of my body. And we obviously immediately U turn to a pediatrician because that is not normal. My mom's so livid. She's like, that's big. You should have told me. I'm like, this is my fun fact. Like, I don't know.
Fun fact.
Literally, fun fact, I lost all feeling in my right side. And then they proceed to have like no answer, but they're just like, okay, if that happens again, go straight to the emergency room. Like, you are going straight to a hospital. You're going to get an MRI. But they didn't like tell me what they were speculating. So I don't know if like in private they told my mom and they didn't want to freak me out.
Mhm.
So I just have gone on just being like, wow, that was such a fluke accident. Now I think I had a focal seizure.
Well, did you ask her about it?
No, I think they were just like, oh, if it happens again, then we'll really get into it. But if it just happened the one time, just monitor.
That's so
So I got
interesting.
really no answers. And I think reading my PowerPoint slides, I like realized with Anna, that's my theory.
That's so interesting.
So it was just a random realization of the week. I might have had a focal seizure. I also completely could have just not. But the way that it was spreading, because they're like, was it your body outward to your limbs or your limbs to your body? I was like, no, it started in my fingers, spread inward. And the nurse was like, oh, well. If that happens again, go straight to the hospital and you're going to get an MRI. An
So
MRI is how you
crazy.
scan to know if seizures happen. So in my brain, I'm like, oh, now you thought I was having a moment. So
Yeah,
that's my random story time.
so funny.
It's not pertinent to
That's not
today.
funny. I'm so sorry.
No, I
Um,
think it's comical.
so when I had my little fall at the gym,
Y'all, she is downplaying this little fall. It was not a little fall.
when I had my big fall at the gym,
Traumatic brain injury.
when I had my TBI,
Yeah.
um, when I came to, my face and arms were tingling. So I'm like, that's weird. I don't think it was that. But I don't know how that happens.
There is a type of seizure where it's aclonic, I think. I could be saying the
Did
word
I give
wrong.
myself a
But it's where
seizure?
you like all your muscle tone drops. So
So you just like fall?
you can. It's also like sometimes you'll see like yeah, kind of. Yeah. I don't know if that was your story, but
I
I
don't
see where
think
you're
that,
going with that.
yeah, that was just
It
interesting that you said that.
it also might be that since you're like sometimes when you pass out, all your extremities go numb and like you can't move them. Maybe it
Mhm.
was a tingling of all the blood that like was like flooding to your heart to like preserve your body when your pressure drops. Maybe it was it like returning.
Yeah. Well, I get it in my face because I literally knocked myself out and would expect something to be wrong. Um, but I don't know.
That video like actually baffles me. Like I just look at it and I'm like, what?
I was doing a dead hang. If you don't know what that is, I was literally just hanging on a bar with both of my arms
Which
up.
I've never thought to do.
Well, if I see a bar, I'm gonna hang on
Go for it.
it. And I wasn't going to the gym to work out. I was just going to say hi. So I rolled out of bed and went. I didn't have any breakfast or anything. And I decided to do that. And something about me is I have long COVID, which has caused me a lot of heart problems. And basically that the medicine I have to take for that mixed with the um fact that I didn't eat while I was hanging, I passed out and a bench was under me. So I fall to the floor and go to sit down on the bench and pass out and fall backwards off the bench onto the concrete floor.
Hmm.
That was such a horrible way to tell that story, but that's what happened.
It was crazy.
It's like my mom said, third undiagnosed concussion.
Yeah. I wanted to quiz you on a few random nursing terms.
Right. I would love. That's okay.
But I'm going to ask you either like what something does, what it
Oh,
means. So first off, what is a normal heart rate? For context, Catherine was nursing.
yes.
So this is why this is fun. Is she was going to be a nurse and then life revealed itself and she chose a different path.
Right.
But it's fun for her to walk down memory lane
It
of what
is.
once was.
Because, like, honestly remember a good chunk of stuff.
I'm sure.
Um, regular heart rate is under 100, right?
What's the
Is
range?
it 45 to 100?
60 to 100.
I was thinking
That was
45 for
good. Yeah,
athletes.
no, you're so right. People will have under 60 if they are really, really healthy. They
Okay.
can have a really healthy resting heart rate at like 40s. It's
Okay.
crazy.
So,
So, point, Catherine.
point Catherine.
What does DNR mean?
Do not resuscitate.
And what does that mean?
That means if they kick the bucket,
Don't
don't
put
bring it
hands on
back.
them. Don't put hands on
Don't
them.
bring it back. They're
Exactly.
ready to rock and roll.
What does the acronym ABCs mean?
BCs. Can I have a hint?
It stands for like the three body processes that are vital that like you have to make sure are like top priorities. So if everything's going wrong, you have to make sure these three things are stable before you do any other intervention.
Okay. Do they start with A, B, and C?
Mm-hmm. What's A? What do you want to make sure remains open?
Your arteries?
Good guess. Good guess. That technically intertwines with the C, but I love the critical thinking there.
Airway.
Yes. What's B?
Breathing.
Yes. And then C?
Cardiac.
It
No.
went with the
Airway, breathing,
the visual.
circulation.
Yes.
Yes.
Airway, breathing, circulation, they have to be functioning before you would do any other intervention. So fun. With that, what oxygen saturation range do you need to be within?
I have no idea.
95% to 100.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you're 100% oxygen saturation, you are literally oxygen.
Yes. Which, like, most people are like around 99. You can be at 100. And if you're below 95, you need intervention. I had a baby. I had a patient the other day. I did not have a baby personally.
I had a
Um,
baby.
I had a patient in the pediatric clinical rotation, which I can tell a story time because today was my last day later. But she was 31 days old, and babies, when they cry, they'll just literally stop breathing. And so she was crying. She was just like had her mouth open, like in a cry, but not making sound, not pushing out air, not putting air in her body. And her O2 stat dropped to like 76. And the alarm was going off. No nurses ran in, which like slightly concerning.
Yeah.
And we were like, come on, girl, breathe. We're like rubbing
I was
her
gonna say, do
chest,
you just
blowing
like,
on her. Because you have to just get her to take
yeah,
that breath because her stats were like, she had no oxygen. So she was being a drama queen. But I
so
love her.
fair.
I love her. She got the attention. She got all five of us little nursing students like goo goo gaga, like, let's go, come on, funny stuff, laugh, cheer, cry.
Anybody pick her up?
Oh yeah, I was holding her.
Okay.
We all held her. It was so fun. Whenever we had time off, we would just go find a little baby and love on them because that physical contact.
Hmm.
What? The physical contact is so important. What is, I might have told you this one, but what is bradycardia?
Brady. Tom Brady likes to kiss, to kiss children. So it's when your heart rate is low.
Yes! Y'all, I'm telling you, my like best friend Anna and I with nursing, we have made it through by coming up with the weirdest ways, and it's stuck. I told Cassie that one time, and now she's got it.
Mm-hmm.
No need to restudy. What is a vaccination?
Shot.
Okay, but what does it
A
do?
vaccine protects you against what are those infections
Hmm.
and diseases.
Yeah. What does CT stand for?
Cerebral? No?
You won't get it.
Okay.
I just wanted you to struggle. Computed tomography.
Okay, well, that was
I
literally what I was
had,
going to say.
all right, the last one is what does RN stand for?
Registered nurse.
Yay!
Yay! Because my
I'm
mom
really
is
proud
a
of you.
registered nurse. I did
Yeah.
pretty good. I think I got all but one.
You did really good. Also, your critical thinking was definitely there because you were able to figure out ABCs.
Mm-hmm.
You were able to figure that one out. So that was great. Very proud, very proud.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a silly question, but I do want to hear
Let's hear it.
your answer because I feel like there's so many out there. But what is one of the weirdest conspiracy theories you've heard of or believed in?
Actually, this actually like makes me giggle
Mm-hmm.
because I have a story time about this.
Okay, I'm ready.
It's pretty quick. Um, so when I was on Hinge, a guy asked me that,
Mm-hmm.
and I had no idea what to say. And so I said that.
I'm really scared.
Actually, I think it was Bumble, but I said something about Princess Diana. I was like, I think Princess Diana was targeted.
So you went for like a major.
I didn't know what to say.
What
I
was his
used.
response like?
I
Oh,
think I deleted the app.
that was it.
I think I deleted the app. I was like, why did I say that? But I used to watch Shane Dawson's conspiracy theory videos,
Mine's the Shane Dawson one that I'm thinking of.
but I can't remember any off the top of my head. Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe me telling you mine will enlighten you on yours. The Chuck E. Cheese pizza conspiracy theory.
Oh, please explain. I forgot.
It's where they would have like their employees bring out like, oh, if you order like a large medium pizza pepperoni, you would get this large medium pizza with pepperoni, and none of the pepperonis would line up. All the pieces are different shapes. So the conspiracy is that they would take when they bring back like the extra pieces, they would mend them all together to make a pizza. And it was like a big scandal that they're reusing pizzas. But Shane Dawson went into like a whole conspiracy over it because literally
Yeah,
none
that's
of
so
them would add
disgusting.
up and none of the pepperonis would either. So that's just one that like I think about often.
That's so interesting. I literally think I looked up conspiracy theories and Princess Diana was the first one to come up. And that's why I said that. Yeah, the 11 most popular. There she is.
Oh, I mean, that is a big conspiracy. Same with like 9/11, but those are all in like the seriousness.
Yeah, and
Like
that's
he
not
was
what you
wanting like a
say.
silly,
Yes. Like,
like, oh, I heard the Chuck E. Cheese. He wasn't like, oh, the
yeah.
biggest female figure to like pass away and cause everyone to cry. Her death was plotted. He probably was just like, I don't
He's
know.
probably like, what the heck
I
is the
don't know what
matter
to
with
do
this
about that.
girl?
I don't know what to do about that. We do have an update on a very infamous character on this podcast. But first, we're going to start with his friend because we left off with a certain person got ghosted, and I was okay with it. I
Yep.
was at peace with it. Wasn't caring about it. It was just the world turns for me. And
Right.
then I see on my Instagram that a friend of the infamous Broadway boy, who only could have known me through Broadway boy, follows me at like 11 at night. And they're hanging out together. So I'm like, okay, my little name was dropped in conversation. My Instagram was pulled up, and now he's DM'd me.
I would like to know how they said your last name, though.
Yeah, no, that's so fair. Kath and I are sitting in this very room on this very couch,
Hmm.
and we realized that this is the guy because he had posted a recent reel of singing the song that Catherine and I were sent, aka I was sent from Broadway Boy, that I thought was him. And it was an amazing song. We were playing it on repeat around the house. And I realized, oh, this guy sang it. So I thought, how funny, slash, just two humans floating on a rock in space to
Right.
just message him and be like, oh my gosh, I heard this song. I didn't know it was you. Great job. So that's what I do. I DM him and I'm like, oh, this is so random, but I got sent this voice memo and I didn't realize it was you singing. Like, I just want to say it's an
Because
amazing
you would think
job.
it's the person who is sending it to you singing.
I would assume that. I would assume that. And it's foul that someone would send a song and then not clarify it's not them singing, to be so
Right.
frank. Um, so he responds like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." And then he starts getting flirty, asking like, "What's my deal?" and these random questions. And I look on his Instagram and man's again, the same toxic trait, has a whole other girl posted all over his Instagram. They spent New Year's Eve together, kissing photos, mirror selfies. I'm like, "Damn, these guys are from the same flock. Like what's going on?" So I literally said, I was like, I think there's another blonde girl that you should be talking to in your life, and it's not me. And he's like, oh, ha ha ha. Like, I see you've been looking at my Instagram. Like, we broke up, but at least I've got a lot of good songs out of it, though. And I was like, it seems like that whole household is going through it. He's like, yeah, it's been rough, but we're making good content or something. And then whenever he asks like a more blatant thing of like trying to like flirt, I was like, how did you hear about me? And he goes, "Oh, Broadway boy." He goes, "Oh, Broadway boy." And I respond saying something along the lines of, "Respectfully, it's been nice talking with you, but I don't really want to be the person passed around to talk to for fun, but I wish you all the best." He's like, "Oh, I didn't mean to come off like that's what was happening, but like, I'm sorry you feel that way." And then I unfollow him and just delete it because I'm pissed. If you don't want to talk to me, Broadway boy, so fair. You don't have to want to hang out with me. You don't want to have to know I exist on Earth. But be respectful at 27, pushing 30. I'm going to trigger you by saying you are pushing 30. Grow up. Like, are you kidding? Catherine is having a respiratory distress over this.
I
Like,
am.
it's
It's really getting
so
to me.
foul. So I'm pissed. I'm like, you ghosted our hangout. We had a whole evening planned. You ghost me, have not talked to me in like a week, and then you out me as someone to talk to for funsies to your friend as you're with him. So then the other day, Super Bowl night, I get a text from none other than the man himself.
You never told me what the response was.
Oh my gosh, it was so bad. So I'm sitting in my room, and at 7:08 p.m. yesterday, I get a text that I immediately run down to Catherine and inform her that this text has happened and nothing after has been relayed. But he says, "Hey, do you actually hate me?" Question mark. This is my response, and I think that I am a mature woman. I will say that I've grown. I'm not perfect, but I do know I'm mature in how I handle things. So please tell me what your thoughts are.
Okay.
But I say, no, of course not. I do think that you flaking on our hangout and not reaching out showed me you didn't want to spend time with me, which is 100% okay. But I won't devote my time and energy to someone that doesn't have the same effort put forth towards me. That's my response. Fair, but also honest. He goes, well, TBH, I had to get some stuff done and sealed off and out before I could, period. I responded and said, you could have still been respectful and communicated that. So that rationale still doesn't really excuse anything. He goes, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and you can judge all you want. I'm telling you now why, and that's what it is, period. I said, wow. He goes, I had to get my ducks in a row. I said, yeah, we all have shit, but just bailing on things and not reaching out is immature. Wouldn't have expected that from someone I thought was like you. There's a way to take time away while still communicating and respecting others. He goes, okay, well, I apologize. So if you want to hold that over me, then I'll let you go. I go, this is so dramatic, lol. You just blew me off and it was rude. Now you're getting so defensive and making it a big end all thing. I don't hate you, just a little disappointed. He responds an hour later and goes, I'm sorry. He's also with like 7 of his guy friends watching the Super Bowl. And I would have to think they're all in hearing this unless he's silently communicating this.
Yeah.
So he texts just, I'm sorry. And I was just like, waited a few minutes and then I just texted back, you're forgiven. Because I'm just like, this is so weird.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you need to owe me some big explanation, but like also, you do need to see that you're in the wrong. Then he goes in to ask me about the Super Bowl. And then we're talking about the Super Bowl. And then he says, let's make a bet on the game. And last time we made a bet,
Yeah.
it was going to be something like silly of like, oh, we'll see. Last time, guess
Ice
what
cream?
this 27-year-old man, of all the things he could try to like, I feel like asking someone to make a bet is a really cutesy way of saying, what do you secretly want from me?
Yeah.
Ice cream? Get this time, okay? So he goes, first off, are we placing a bet? And I said, what's at stake with this bet? He said, you make the rule. I go, no, you do it. And I said, pick something you can actually follow through on. He said, OMG, here we go. I said, hey, you made the bed. You got to sleep in it. He responds and says, okay, if the Chiefs win, I owe you $1. I said, that's the best you can commit to. He said, you let me make the rules. And I won and texted him that I won. And I said, you owe me. He responds, no. And then I said, dot, 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 I won. And he has not responded, but is Snapchatting me.
He can't even follow through with $1?
But then they ghost me on text about $1 and then keep Snapchatting me because he wants to communicate, but not at.
I'm so embarrassed for him.
What?
I'm so embarrassed
This
for
is
him.
so. Also, can we talk about the toxicity in his responses earlier of being like, well, you can stay mad if you want, and like, I'll let you go
Ridiculous.
because I'm upset that you bailed and ghosted me and then tossed me around to your friends. But like, he literally tried to gaslight me into thinking I was crazy for that.
Yeah, he's crazy for that.
I literally sat there and was like, this is why you and your girlfriend didn't work out.
Yeah.
Like, this adds up. I thought you were a wholesome Marine. Just that
Wholesome,
got
yeah.
so tragically played. Maybe she cheated on you with a Broadway boy, a different one. And no, I think he was the toxic king in that relationship. Those texts had me baffled.
That is baffling.
So that's where that's been.
Certainly baffling.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I thought I would let you know.
Thank you for the update.
That's the update.
I totally forgot that even happened. I was so out of it when you came in my room.
Yeah, Catherine was very icky sicky.
Icky sicky. I think I was asleep when you knocked on my door.
Yeah, I think you were. You sounded a little out of it, which is so fair.
Yeah, I
It'd
had
been a long
101
day.
fever.
Yeah, that's not okay. 104?
101.
100. That is not good. Did you
No.
have the shakes? The
All
shivers?
night.
That's the worst.
Mhm. And then
That
I
is the
woke up and I was
worst.
like so sweaty. It was disgusting.
That's the
It's like back
worst.
and forth.
It's so bad. You're simultaneously freezing while also sweating and
Mhm.
then so angry that you're in your own it's I can't
Yeah.
even.
I had my robe on, my comforter, and then 4 blankets on top of me.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
And I still had the chills. It's crazy. Anyhow.
Yeah. Well, speaking of since we're talking about toxic relationships, this is just a random question I had for you. But what is something over the years you've heard, whether from someone you know or like in a storyline, that you've heard a couple fight about that you can't understand or see why people would get mad? And I thought of an example for you to kind of give you a range and you can go as deep or light. But an
Okay.
example is location. So many people fight about, I can't see where you are, or like, you need to text me when you're done going out. Like, is there anything like that that you're just like, why do people fight about this?
I know there are some stories about where I've been in that position where girls have been like, "Oh, I'm so mad he blah blah blah." And I've been like, "What the heck? Why are you mad about that?" Cuz I feel like I'm a pretty low-key kind of person.
Yeah.
Like I don't care to have your location or anything like that. I'm trying to think about a specific incident. Do you have any?
I feel like one thing that I feel like is just always annoying is like controlling.
Yeah.
I see so many relationships where they're like, oh, he's not allowed to go talk to her. He's not allowed to go there, or he can't go out without me, or he can't,
That's
have a
just a lack of trust.
that's where I get pissed. Like, if
Mhm.
someone's gonna disrespect you or cheat on you or flirt behind your back, they're gonna do it either way.
Yeah.
If you make it something they have to be more tricky about, it's kind of like tell someone they can't do something, they're gonna want to do it. For example, we've been not allowed to post throughout recruitment, and I've never wanted to post more
Mhm.
since they told me I couldn't. So now my story has like 17 photos on it right now. But like, I never understand people that are like that. Also, who would want to be with someone where they're basically dating a drill sergeant or a parole officer for themselves? How is that warm and fuzzy?
Mm-mm, it's not warm and
It's
fuzzy.
not. That's one thing that always pisses me off when I hear people be like, "Oh, I told him I couldn't or he couldn't." And I'm just like, "What?"
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I have a really funny story time in my head, and it's not my story. And it's kind of the crazy side. Basically, I know this person that creates fake Snapchat and Instagram accounts to mess with men that
Mhm.
mess with her, and
Mhm.
it's insane. She's made them show up to places, telling them where they're going to hang out, made him drive there, then leave him stranded at the bar awaiting. And recently, she got herself involved in a little bit of a relationship that was in the midst of breaking up, and she ended up DMing the girl through this, relating the cheating of a male in this relationship. And she just uses these accounts to communicate and do relationship stuff. And it's crazy.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
It's insane. But yeah, people that do stuff like that, it's so interesting to me. And there was a point when I never created fake accounts, but I did some mysterious investigative work. I had a friend of mine in high school that her boyfriend we thought was not that loyal. So I reached out to a friend of mine from my old public school that he would know and think would be fun to flirt with because he used to go to it, but not think that anyone at my private school would be connected with. And we ended up having her flirt with him and got screenshots of him sending like mirror selfies with like red lights and like flirty with her. And we
Wow.
caught him, and it was crazy. So I've done that before.
So we'll call this girl Sadie.
Sadie. Okay, what did Sadie
Mhm.
do?
So growing up, Sadie um couldn't have like she couldn't have social media and she wasn't super popular.
Right.
So I remember hearing this story
Yeah.
that her and this is actually so terrible that I think about it and I hear it now.
Huh?
Um that her friends would have her text these boys
Uh-huh.
and be like, "Do you
The
like
bait.
so and so?"
Uh-huh.
And they'd be like, "Who is this?" And apparently she was just like, "I don't know. I don't know." I think she didn't even tell him who she was
Right.
until like the very end, which now sounds so awkward and awful, and I just want to crawl out of my
But
skin for
that's
her.
so like what people would do in like the young ages is like, who do you like? And like fiend for
Yeah.
it and like have their friend ask them and then they ask on their recess and like that was such a young, like weird
And now I'm like,
crush phase.
God forbid Sadie texts one of them now, which she's not friends with any of them. I
Right.
don't think she's friends with any of them. But if she did and that those messages popped up, that'd be. But
That would
also,
be crazy.
that was in grade school, so I don't think they would. But
I would hope not, but you never know.
yeah, you never know. So
We
good luck,
do we do
Sadie.
silly things sometimes. I the other night randomly requested to follow Mugshot X. And then thank God I woke up today and was like, why the hell did I do that? And immediately thank God the request was still requesting and I just unrequested.
That's awesome.
I was like, please tell me no one saw that. That's why. I don't care about him. Why did I do that?
Maybe you just had a moment of
Did I?
weakness.
I don't know. I was like, what? I just woke up and remembered I did that. And I was like, what?
That's so funny.
No. His name is asshole in my phone. Like, why would I request that? I don't know. Fun fact, if you're an ex of mine, your name in my phone is something whack.
It's not nice.
It's not. It's not your name. But I have it, so if you ever are dumb and call me at midnight or text me, which some of you do, I know. I know all and I ghost you, but I do know and I keep score. So I have a list on my phone that I found in my notes.
Okay.
And when I stumbled across it, because my notes has kind of been a catch all over the years,
Mhm.
I do this thing where, and I don't think I've told story times about it. Maybe I have. But I will do this thing when relationships end where I send like I will literally write out all my emotions.
Right.
So there's things like that in my notes and then there's random things, grocery lists. It's all over the place.
By the way, when you sent me that and the title was Goodbye, I was like,
Oh no! Are you talking about for Tennis Boy?
yes.
Yes. No, 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 no. No, I stumbled across Tennis Boy's note, which he never got. Only one person has ever gotten the note.
Yeah, and he
And
deserved
the
it.
response was so foul.
It was so
It
foul.
was so that's he's his own story time. But I stumbled across Tennis Boys, which I totally did not even remember that I did, and I ate.
You
I
did.
really,
You
I
ate.
always eat at these things, and he never got it. And if he ever tries to come back in my life again, I honestly would just be like, literally, I hate you.
Which he
And
probably will because he tends to do that.
if you're still viewing my stuff when you're literally with a goddess, and you're having to look me up on the daily,
I remember.
oh wait, tell me.
I think.
Okay.
Oh, it was during recruitment practice last year.
Okay.
And I was
For context, this is a story that Catherine had mentioned earlier about influencer that just came back to memory. Correct?
correct.
Okay.
Um it was when we were practicing something
Right.
and I randomly got to talk to her.
Uh-huh.
And I realized I was like, because I had seen her around and heard her talk to people before, and she seems like such a sweetheart. I mean, she
Yeah,
is.
she is.
Um, but I remember I hadn't talked to her before, and I really wanted to. And so I get the opportunity to talk to her. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I've been wanting to talk to you. Like, you seem so cool." And no, first I asked, I was like, "Are you influencer?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, I've been wanting to talk to you. I think you're awesome. She goes, "Well, here I am," or something like that. Like, now you have, or here I am. And didn't talk to me again. Literally turned around and looked for her friends.
Mm.
And I was like,
That adds up to her nickname. That's
yeah,
that's influencer
it was
behavior.
crazy. But all love.
All love, all love, but so
Literally all love, no
interesting.
hate. I
No hate, no. She literally will never see this. I'm gonna just tell myself that.
know.
But if you do, we only hype you up. Like
Yeah.
literally every episode, we're like, your man is trash. That is not your fault, and you deserve better. And we hope you get it. The
Yes.
summary of everything we've ever said.
Literally everything.
And also, to be so frank, this is not secret knowledge. Every single person knows this. I heard from inside source that she literally has made jokes of like, yeah, I'd get back together, like would be with him if he like cuts off all his hoes. Cause like it's a big issue.
That is a big issue.
It's a big issue.
That's sad.
But I have this X list that I stumbled
Oh, my
across,
X list for men.
and it literally is an X and then for males. And it was like,
Oh my
I guess
gosh.
it was like in my rage, things that I was like, if this is something they do or believe or whatever, I will not be with them. And
Yes.
I have just added on, and I can see in different comments where different relationships come into play of like when I was like, this exact thing's from you.
Yes.
And so I can just read you a few.
Yes, please.
So, not posting me on their social media. For some reason, every boy I've been with recently, until they caved by their own accord, they don't like to post me, but then they date someone else and they do. So I'm gonna be offended by
It's
that.
rude.
So that's a big thing. Not liking sushi, won't pay for my
I don't like
meal.
sushi. I do pay for your meals though.
You're forgiven. Don't want me to hang around his friends. Hangs out with other girls and goes on and on about it. That is literally Tennis Boy. I wrote that for
Ew.
Tennis Boy. And it
Then,
was about influencer.
oh my
Because
gosh.
remember, I met them
Yeah.
at a picnic and he wouldn't shut up about her. And I was like, dude,
Mhm.
this is so obvious that you're not just a friend with her. And he was on the sidelines waiting. And you know what? He got his wish. Doesn't eat healthy ever. Doesn't like doing surprises for me. Boys that don't give me flowers every once in a while. Boys that don't wash their sheets at least once every 2 weeks
Yeah.
is on here.
That's gross.
Boys that won't dance with me.
Why is this man so
But then I
terrible?
had one thing. I hate to hype him up. Narcissist and I would dance in the kitchen. And I hate you though. That doesn't help you at all. I still
No, it
hate you.
literally doesn't at all.
Literally, you are forever in the
It's
doghouse.
just one thing you maybe did right.
And you didn't do right because it was planned.
Oh,
You were a manipulator. So
master.
actually, I still hate you. Drinking and driving. They drive fast for no reason to be cool.
Oh, drinking and driving is absolutely
If
you're
you
out.
drink and drive, I don't care if you're a male. If you're a person in my life, there was one friend we've talked about on here, but he called me once or posted on his socials or something, him drinking and driving, thinking it was funny. When I tell you I was in a line for Zara here in Nashville, and while I'm in the line, I call him up. I think I was shopping with Lexi, and I ripped him a new one on the phone. You think you're so cool, huh? Like, that is so dumb. You're putting so many, ripping him. But he also was like, you know what? You're right. Like, I needed someone to say that. Like, you are right. If you're my friend and you do some reckless stuff like that, I will rip you a new one and it is from love. But, like, I cannot stand people that do that.
No.
I literally won't even be your friend if you do that. So that's why I'm with Catherine, who's sober, because she's amazing. Gym rats.
Oh, we don't like
Ugh.
gym rats.
Do you like gym? I guess you like the gym. But like gym rats, all they care about is their body. Broadway Boy posted a photo of himself in the gym on his main. It wasn't his
I
close
don't
friends.
like that.
When they don't like camping or being outdoors.
I've never been camping.
Do you want to know a horrific memory I'm thinking of right now? And it's so embarrassing.
Yes.
This is so bad.
Tell me now.
This is so bad.
Oh my gosh, tell me now.
Oh my God. Okay, so when we were dating, it was freshman year, okay? I had I was living in the dorms. He was living in the dorms. And the university we go to has a very strict no visitor past certain time hour. And at the time, it was when you still had to give your ID because it was getting off COVID. Now you don't have to. Now it's a lot more. I think you can sneak around. And we got written up one time for me being over there. And then afterwards, I was like, I'm not risking it. I don't want to do it. So one time I asked him so that we could spend the night and like hang out together if we could have a slumber party in his back seat of his car and camp in his car so that we wouldn't have to be somewhere we get in trouble. And when I
In the
tell you,
parking
he
garage?
brought pillows and blankets down to the parking garage and we slept in his trunk in the parking garage and he hated it. It was only because I asked and I was like, oh my gosh, you're such a wimp. Like, you don't want to camp. You aren't rugged. Like, it's just a flat surface. It was so bad.
He still did it though.
So, that's my fault. Like, that is on me. Like, let the man sleep in his bed upstairs.
Were y'all
That,
in the same dorm?
no. He never walked me home. When I tell you it would be 2 a.m., pitch black outside, dangerous lurking hours, freezing, that man would never walk me to my
Gross.
dorm because he was like, it's cold. And I'm like, okay, I'm cold
Yeah.
and alone. You know who would never do that?
Ew.
This one guy who I've talked about before, he was the guy that I went to the Alan Jackson concert with. He would walk me back to my dorm.
He would.
And I saw him recently, which is its own story time. I'll get into that in a second. But along the list, one thing I put on here with nothing else is just Madison beer. Her name alone.
I love Madison beer, and you cannot
I do
convince me
too. I
different.
went to her
Oh,
concert.
okay.
Here's the issue. I love her. I funded her income. I saw her in person. I love her albums. Her song Selfish got me through my worst breakup in the whole world. I love Madison beer. But again, this he would spend the summers on the East Coast. He went there, and I, being the loving girl I am, I'm like, I'm gonna pay for $500 flights. I'm gonna come to you. I want to see you. All this stuff while he's just a jerk. But one night he calls me and he meets Madison Beer. And it was kind of in that phase where I knew he was just like getting more reckless. And I was like, this guy, like, I feel like would he's just an attention seeker. Everything about him is just like, I need to be the center of attention. He cared about his Instagram. He stalks his Instagram stats. He is a social climber. So I know at that point that I was like, he would totally disrespect me and do anything there. So I was honestly glad we broke up because I'm sure he did. But when I heard he met Madison Beer, a part of my female rage encounter, because I was like, I've seen this girl in concert. She is that gorgeous.
Scary.
She is that. I was like, why did you have to set the bar so high? This man is losing interest, and then he sees Madison Beer. He thinks he's on top of the world. Of course, he comes back from the summer. Is like, can I take you to dinner? I miss
So,
you.
like, did they hang out or do anything?
No, he was walking by her and said, "You look like Madison Beer," and she goes, "I am Madison Beer," and that was their conversation. So he got destroyed. Honestly, I'm on Madison Beer's side,
Oh my gosh, yes.
but that is why I put that on this list because I was so pissed. I actually had a TikTok that like relatively blew up like 400 likes, and it was like a meme of like, I'm all good in my stable relationship that's long distance, and then he meets Madison Beer, and then I'm pissed. But that's on here. There's also just some other stuff that's just funny, but I won't put it on the podcast. But it was fun. It was fun. But Parker McCollum, Country Boy, which honestly we might have nicknamed him honestly just Country Boy. But Parker McCollum is more fitting. He is a long-term friend of mine. I've already given the backstory. But recently we had our last day of recruitment being bid day, and I was about to leave. And I don't go on Snapchat, but recently I've been on Snapchat because um Mr. Exotic Snapchats me, and so I'm on there. And I saw on Snap Maps a friend of Country Boy, Parker McCollum, um, is right near me, like a mile away from me. And I know that Country Boy lives with this guy. So I'm like, oh my gosh, they live so close. And I'm just in the moment of life where I'm just like realizing, like, when you have quality people or good people, like, hold on to them and hold on to them for dear life. And truly, Country Boy's been nothing but so sweet and like respectful. I friend zoned him in the past, and he was very respectful. He's grown up. He just knows that, again, quality is worth losing people over petty stuff. And recently we had matched on Hinge as a joke because I saw him on Hinge, and he literally in his Hinge bio had as a joke, people tell me I look like Parker McCollum. And he said that since freshman year, which is hilarious. And so I responded and was like, this made me laugh. And then we start texting, and then eventually he says, hey, I have a question to ask you. And I was like, I'm scared, but okay. And he's like, can I get another shot with you? And I'm like, you're so sweet, but honestly, like, I really want you to be someone that's in my life long term. And I feel like it just wouldn't work. And he's so respectful. He's like, yeah, no, I'd much rather have you in my life as a friend than like not. So, like, totally good. Thank you for your honesty. Mature conversation. So that's why I was excited to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so close to you. I haven't seen you in like a year. And you're a nice person. And we always had fun as a friend group. And so I just call him as I just recently I just call men. It's been my
You're
thing.
really brave.
I just literally am like, I don't care, and I call them because I hate texting. And I call him. He's on the way back from visiting his brother from the Air Force in Mississippi, and he's like 10 minutes away from home. And he's like, yeah, I'm about to get back. Come over and say hi. I go over, say hi, super wholesome, catch up on life for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then I head home. But it was super wholesome, and we're all gonna hang out soon. And that's the story. He's just like a great guy, and all of his friends, they are musicians. So he might play guitar at us.
Oh, it's an us. We're gonna hang out. Well, I'm hanging out.
Yeah, I want you to
Okay.
meet him.
Okay,
I
yay.
don't necessarily, I mean, I might hang out with him once or twice. I know we're gonna catch up soon, but it's just because, like, he knows the gist.
Yay.
He knows where stuff's at. And he's a great guy.
Tell
He's
them to
super
play,
sweet.
strum their guitars at least.
He's done it before. He will do it again, but I want to get us invited to a hangout over there. And he's one of those friend groups where it's just like you're at a zoo. You're looking at them like you're an animal, not in a mean way, but like their life baffles you because we don't live like them. We don't
Yeah.
get it. He actually played tonight at 8 p.m.
We
Like,
didn't go.
we didn't go.
I was supposed to have class, so I wouldn't have been able to go, but
I was crying and then took a nap till 7:30. So tonight wasn't gonna work, but it's funny just to watch those lives, and we're gonna hang out with them. I think that's one of my New Year resolutions is we're gonna have a good guy girlfriend hangout squad,
right.
and they're wholesome and they're sweet and they're supportive and they're the
And
kind
he's
where
talented.
mm-hmm, yes, I've
Can we
showed
cut
you his
that?
song.
I like the song that's about you.
I He asked me whenever I saw him, he was like, to be honest, that one day when I saw you at the hat store, I told you about that, right?
Yes.
He was like, was that your boyfriend you're with? And I was like, yeah, it's an ex or whatever. And he had asked me if I was like, he basically just asked like a brutally honest question. Next time I see him, I'm brutally gonna ask him, have you ever written a song about me? Because
Yes.
I literally, as he asked me that, I was like, oh, I love that we're at like the brutal, I can ask you any embarrassing question and we're not gonna judge each other
And why
for
didn't
it.
you ask him then and there?
I don't know. I don't know why I didn't ask. I think that we were just flowing into like catching up on a ton of stuff to where it didn't just come up naturally. But like now that we're officially like for sure back on like close friend basis,
Hmm.
now I want to ask.
I have a confession.
Please do it.
I should not have driven home last night. I had vertigo out the wazoo.
I know I'm nursing and I know this word, but right now my what's vertigo? Tired,
Vertigo, it's
extreme
like,
fatigue.
no, where like my brain's spinning. Like it feels like the world is spinning around you. Or like you're spinning.
I one time drove from here to Murfreesboro when I was with Golden Retriever Boy and traffic took an hour. I was so deprived and it was bad. Is that what you
Yeah.
mean?
No.
Okay.
I do
I
see where
think
you're
it
coming from,
was
but it's like if I was driving and I went to look, it was like my head would move, my eyes were lagging behind me.
Yeah, that's ye I think we're like different font, same story right now.
Okay, well, I shouldn't have been driving yesterday,
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
Moral of the story. But I got home safe and sound.
Well, I'm very happy.
Thank you.
That is crazy. But yeah, no. This is a wholesome catch up. I literally want us to hang out so bad. I think it would just be such a
It
funny
definitely
occurrence.
should.
And I wanna get you exposed to all the people. I have a paper that I think I'm gonna write,
Hmm.
and I just kinda wanted to know on the more mature side of like real world topics, not just our tomfoolery. Um, I want to write a paper on the use of social media and how it impacts kids. And I want to know your take also from the standpoint of kind of like with like I don't know if we mentioned this thing, but like the Sephora 10-year-olds.
Hmm.
What's kind of your take on all of that kind of?
So I did write a paper on that last
Okay,
semester.
great.
Um, I should have had my laptop. Yeah, so I did write a paper on that because I do believe very strongly in that.
In your
Sorry,
what stance?
in that children should not have social media.
Yeah.
Just like my friend Sadie, I was not allowed to have any social media growing up. I had Snapchat in middle school, which is like weird to say because everybody was like, you can't have Snapchat. My mom was very strict on no social media. I didn't have Instagram or Facebook or anything like that until I was a senior in high school.
Wow.
Yeah. So um and the only reason I got it was literally for recruitment, which makes me sad. But I could go without it, TBH. I used to like be so angry at my mom that she wouldn't let me have social media. But looking back on it now, I'm so happy because like my sister has social media and she's a freshman in high school and I've seen how drastically it's like caused so much drama and stuff that she doesn't need to be seeing and it's given her I don't know, it's like social standards and I don't agree with it. So I'm definitely going to be a no social media for my children household.
Yeah.
Because it has so many negative effects, even
Yeah.
on adults, even on me.
Yeah.
So,
Also with the filter.
oh,
Also with like the filters and things. I just think it's so bad and it's so bad. I think also the like Sephora trend because people
hmm,
don't understand like the longevity of how things evolve. If they're evolving to where they're doing all this at 10, it's just like at 10 like we were making silly iMovies and like wearing embarrassing neon outfits that don't match and like just goofing around and like no one cared about that. Like some people had like cute leggings and an oversized t-shirt, but like I remember the coolest thing people would compete with is like a Lululemon headband in middle school. Like
yeah,
collecting those like now it's like you have to have all this stuff and expensive stuff and like
drunk elephant and
oh
rare
my gosh, well
beauty.
to be like 10 and have people be like, "Oh my gosh, your contour, your highlighter."
I mean, my 7-year-old babies are like that.
It's so sad cuz you aren't growing up like really getting that like just independence of just you and yourself and your body and you're evolving. Now
Hmm.
when kids look back, it's like, oh, I look at my 7-year-old self or 12 or however old they were. I'm just like, oh, I was just a little awkward girl. Now it's gonna be like looking back and like, oh, my makeup was so bad then, and like, it's so just not you.
No. I mean, I'll let my like kids if they want to play dress up and have play makeup.
Dress up is different than
That's like
lifestyle,
that's like
and I
bright
agree.
blue and
Yeah,
purple. Like
it's
yes,
Claire's,
yes, you can do
it's
that. But
glitter.
you're not putting on makeup to wear. You're not putting on foundation at 7 years old.
You're not putting on skincare at 7 years old.
I'll
I'm
get you some
sorry.
face wash and moisturizer. That's the end of it.
Well, until you have acne, like, no. Just because you're stripping your face, like, your natural oils are healthy. It's when you go through puberty and you get an abnormal amount of oils and, like, all that, that then it clogs stuff. But, like, I just don't want kids to grow up thinking they have to change themselves before they even know they are. You
Yeah,
don't even know your features. You haven't even grown into them.
no.
And I look at, like, my 12-year-old self, I look so freaking weird. I showed you, didn't I show you the other day?
The picture of you
Me as a
in chess.
freshman?
Yeah.
That was not
In
me.
high school?
College.
Oh.
That was 2 years ago.
Okay, you have to
That was when
think
my mom called me round. And you know what? She was
Lisa.
right for that.
No, she wasn't.
My face was round in that
She needs to
photo.
keep that.
My face was round in my photo.
I look the exact same as I did when I was a freshman in college.
But you look so perfect and cute.
Oh my gosh, stop.
Like, it's in a good way. I
No.
will say your hair game, like, when you get dolled up, you look so mature. You look mature in
It
general, but,
looks so
like,
much better when I had
it's
it actually.
no, it's like I love, like, seeing you get all glam because it's fun.
Because you
Because,
never see me that
yeah,
way. I
it's like a
know.
fun thing. I
Wait, I
love
need
it.
to go to years. When was I at UK? 2021.
It's so fun to see you get all glam because you're really good at it. It's like an inspiring
Oh my gosh,
thing
thank
to watch you get
you.
glammed.
That's so
I really
nice.
enjoy it.
Well, this is my senior photo. Like I feel like I still look like her. I do. Do I not? I know.
But, like, I think that's such a compliment.
Yeah.
Like, you look good.
Well,
Yes.
I
There's
was
literally
actually
no
just
other.
looking at my first day of school photos um for freshman year because I took a picture next to the Pope.
The real one?
Yeah, the real one.
Okay. That's fun.
She looks the same.
Wait,
That's not the real Pope.
I really thought it was.
You
Y'all, if
didn't
only
see
y'all
any
could see this
Secret
photo.
Service?
Your hair, I will say, your highlights are like the big difference. You
Yeah.
like your blonder highlights, your honey highlights.
Yeah.
I like your natural brown hair.
Everybody does better than that. Whatever.
Wait, no, if you want to do it, you should do it. Okay, I
Whatever.
didn't say anything like that.
Yeah,
I
I
just think
know.
I think your dark hair is like I believe firmly, and we've talked about this because I always am very impulsive with my hair and talk about drastically changing my hair. I think dark is mature.
Well, also, I feel like everybody just looks better with their natural hair color.
Yeah. I feel like my hair's just in this weird phase where it's like it's confused. Are we trying to look brown or are we trying to look blonde?
Like, you have a good hair day every day, and it's really annoying.
I don't know if that like my hair just is like flat. I
Mm,
wouldn't call it a good hair day. It's just boring.
no, it's a good hair day.
I just showered.
So did I. And you see the difference?
That's just because my hair just gives up.
It's not
It just
fair.
lays and just.
Mine shows my internal stress.
Mm.
Comes out in my hair. Can I get a kitty, please?
I don't know what Scooter's
Can
doing,
a
but
kitty pay their rent today?
I will say earlier my mom called me about Poppy. Snoopy on his own walked up and laid on my lap, and then as my mom told me he passed away, Snoopy was on my lap purring, like cuddling me. And I was like, Snooey, you're so sweet, but I also felt so guilty because I was like, I'm sitting here. Also, can we talk about what a blessing from God? I thought about this earlier. Like, I was originally going to bring Simba
Hmm.
here to Nashville. My childhood kitty, 16 years old. We had a feeling he wasn't doing so well, so we thought to not bring him last minute and switched. 4 days after I get here, Simba dies. So, blessing I didn't bring him. Then I ended up, we thought about maybe bringing Poppy. Poppy is my childhood kitty in the sense that when my papa, who died of ALS, knew he was going to pass away, he wanted me to have a little creature that watched me grow up when he couldn't. And so he wanted to get me, because I love kitties, he wanted to get me a really beautiful, gorgeous rag doll because they're loungy, they're supposed to be cuddly, and he wanted that to be like my supportive kitty through the journey life was going to have for me. And so I wanted to bring Poppy maybe because he's also so chill. He doesn't care. He would not have cared one bit about the car ride. He's so pretty, fluffy, lazy, but he has medicine. And so that would have made it hard if I wanted to do weekend trips like Catherine and I are about to do Auburn. Finding someone to watch a cat who takes pills is hard.
Hmm.
And I didn't even want to do it. So by God's plan, I didn't bring Poppy. If I brought Poppy or Simba, I would have had to deal with losing that cat, but either one. They both died this in this 1 year. Thank goodness I brought Scooter and Snooey, cause like I cannot imagine. That would have been horrible.
It would have been
And then it would
really
have been
hard.
horrible for y'all, cause y'all would have attached to the kitty. And then it would have been on everyone. It would have been so sad.
Yeah, it really would have.
Such a God's plan thing.
Yeah. Now I've
Hence
never.
why I needed to bring two kitties.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think I would be really sad if there was only one kitty here.
Like I would feel so the problem is I feel guilty when I'm not home because then the animals alone.
They have each other.
Yeah, like animals get lonely and that's why I love Scooter and Snoopy because I was like they have each other and they play, they mess around.
Snoopy's about to attack something.
Snoopy is about to go crazy,
He's
but
going stealth mode.
they help each other and Scooter would never survive without Snoopy. Look at
Oh
him.
my gosh,
Scooter's
Scooter.
so cute.
Scooter.
My favorite thing is when Scooter's eyes go really big because he looks creepy with his snake eyes.
He does.
But well, the biggest I've ever seen Scooter's eyes get is when he's on my bed at night and he's looking to attack my feet. And he'll get down and do his little shimmy. And when he knows he's about to pounce, his eyes get super dilated and fixed and he jumps.
Oh.
And Scooby with big eyes is so cute.
Scooby Wooby.
He's so loving.
Come
I love
here,
kitties.
Snoo.
So I'm very thankful I have my kitties here because
Yeah.
none of the other kitties would have made it. God wanted them home.
And Poppy visited us tonight.
Poppy did with that crazy Brooke, my sister, had said. I was showing her the freak snow going on. Snow like I've never seen, even in the biggest storms in Colorado, skiing to then this past giant winter 9 inches we got. It was literally like giant clumps, like it looked like foam. And Brooke was like, "That's Poppy having his last um first snow, like shedding. That's his last little shedding because Poppy's a super fluffy white rag doll, so he'd shed like big clumps." And she was like, "That's his last snow." Because in our house, we'd always say as a joke, like when hair was floating, it sounds so bad. We would always joke in our house because of all the cat fur that when we'd see it floating in the air after we'd pet them, like, oh, it's snowing. This is our Texas snow. Because in Texas, we don't get real snow.
Cat hair.
Yes, literally. And so Brooke was saying, that's Poppy's last little snow. Goodbye.
And it was only over Nashville.
It was only over Nashville, nowhere else. When I tell you there's rain all the way up to like almost like Buffalo, New York, no snow. And it was only for a short period of time. And the thickest, fattest, no make sense snow of all. That was little Poppy getting his goodbye to me from
I
my papa.
I think it was Poppy saying that he's with Papa,
Yeah. Which, oh my
which is
gosh, could make
so
me cry.
sweet.
It's
Yeah.
so, so sweet. So, so sweet. Because that was my little buddy, and he did what he was supposed to do. He watched me grow up.
He did.
He was supposed to not live very long because of his health issues. Then he made it to over 10. He was like 10 something. And he watched me grow up, which is so beautiful.
Mhm.
So beautiful and happy. So, my papa, for my birthday, wanted to get me a kitty because I love kitties. One thing about me is if you shit on cats around me, you're not a friend. Men do it all the time and it makes me so livid.
I know. I
Do
know.
not hate on cats. Especially not my cats. My cats are so cute. But I love kitties and I love fluffy cats and I love ragdolls. So my papa picked out, I'm sure with help of my mom, Poppy. Well, I named him Poppy after my papa. And then we got him, and then my papa passed away, and I had Poppy, and then Poppy all of a sudden got super, super sick. Like he was licking the walls. It was really weird. He was like, his nose was completely white and pale.
Hmm.
He was super, like, you could just tell something was off. And then the vet was like, yeah, we think he has leukemia. You should probably just put him down. My mom was livid. She was like, my daughter just lost her papa, and now you're telling me we have to go put down her kitty that was her papa's that just died. No, we're not going to do that. So my mom goes to a different vet, and that vet is like, okay, it's not leukemia, it's this other thing. We have this medication. We don't know how long it's going to work, if it's going to work, but you can just try. It's kind of your only option. And my mom's like, I will do anything to not have to tell this little girl that her papa's kitty is dying. So then we did it, and 10 years later, it worked and no one thought he was going to work that long. He was doing great, amazing. But yeah, Poppy's a little trooper. He was so perfect and cute and I just feel so bad cuz now my mom is living without a cat for the first time like her whole life basically. And now the house is so, I mean, think about it as like a parent.
Yeah.
We had 6 people in the house because it was me, my sister, my brother, my mom, my dad, and my nana.
Right.
And then we had a ton of pets. We had Simba, Poppy, Scooter, Snoopy, Kaya, Ziggy.
Yeah, no, it's
And at
Kai and
one point,
Ziggy.
we had Kaya, Ziggy, Kenda. We had like literally so
Is
many
Kinda a
pets.
dog?
Kenda was a dog. She passed away. We've had a lot of pets pass away. But at one point, that was all of us living in that house. So many. Then my nana moves out. Brooke goes to college. I go to college. Chase goes to college. Simba passes away. Poppy passes away. Scooter and Snoopy leave. My mom, they've never lived in a house where it's just them two, mom, dad, and then Kaya, Ziggy.
Are they gonna get another cat?
My mom says no. She like said today, she was like, I told Charles, like, he cannot think to surprise me with a kitty. Because he just wants to help and fix
Yeah.
and give her something happy to love on. Because my dad has Ziggy, and that's like his creature, and then Poppy was my mom's.
Who's poor Kaya? Brooks?
Kaya is just the families, like truly the families, but she more so is like the guardian. She loves to sit outside and like she's a Great
Watch.
Pyrenees mix. So she's just like the protector. She hangs out with Ziggy, but she gets loved on and stuff. But she doesn't like follow around like how Poppy or like these kid like
Right.
Kaya's just kind of like I protect the household. In a sense, like for my parents, it's probably a big sign for them because all these things that kept them in that house
Mm.
of like, we have so many pets, like what are we gonna do with them? Like everything's simplifying for them to where I think they're also realizing like them too in such a big house is just like we've got to go.
It's a bit aggressive though.
About the RV?
No, about the pets having to die.
Yeah, no. Literally I told my mom today I was like, "Why is everything just disappearing?"
Yeah.
Like literally why? Cuz before Simba was Kenda, that was a big thing. That was last finals week or last something because I remember I was sitting in the nail salon at Lux Nails off 21st in the chair. My mom texted a photo and a big paragraph being like, "Oh, our sweet Kinda," and I just was like,
Yeah.
"Okay." So that was that, and then Simba, super sad,
Mhm.
and that was a big hit. And then Poppy, big hit, and then us all moving out and moving around, and it's just really craziness. But I think for them, it's also kind of their sign of like, okay, we've got to find our next chapter,
Yeah.
got to find our happy place. So I'm excited for them to do that.
I am too.
I'm really curious where they go
I know.
because
I feel
oh,
like that another chapter has to close before they officially.
well, so many things have to happen. They have to like sell the house, like that's a whole
Right.
big process. But also like one thing that Brooke has brought up before, and I feel like I'm at the phase of like I'm so like disconnected from Austin, from just
Mhm.
my experiences with Austin,
Mhm.
to where I've already like gotten my mind like I've completely moved in here.
Mhm.
Like I'm completely here. Like this is where I'm going to spend my summer. To where I'm kind of already shifting like this is where I'm after graduation. I see the hospitals I'm wanting to apply to and work for. Like I'm already out of that mindset where my sister is like, "So where's home base?
Mhm.
If you get an RV, where do I say my home is?"
Mhm.
Cuz it's not Auburn. And even when she moves to Nashville, it's like still there's like that childhood home or like where my parents live, we all come home to. It's like we don't have that anymore.
Mhm.
So that'll be interesting if they do the RV thing, because then it's like, oh, where are you from? It's like, oh, I'm from Austin. And then it's like, oh, your fam. Well, my parents, they're in some state right now. I don't really know which one, but they're driving.
Let me live
They're
360 my
RVing, which
parents.
everyone's going to be like, why are your parents just RVing?
I think it's awesome.
I think it's awesome. I think it's just going to be a weird transition,
Yeah.
but be really bonding for them.
Yeah.
It'll be awesome, but life's just been crazy. Life's been crazy. I thought it was calming down, especially when Broadway Boy Goes to Me. I was like, okay, there's nothing going on. Perfect Mr. Exotic left. Chilling. We're just gonna get through recruitment. And then all hell breaks loose. Everyone comes back from the woodworks. Everything's going on.
Mhm.
We're ill. Our brains aren't working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, and I haven't been sick in a while.
You
Like,
literally said, I don't get sick.
I don't. This is so rare. I swear I have such a good immune system. Um, I mean, unless you. realize that I'm
Okay, but
chronically
I think
ill.
this thing, I don't even want to know what it is because it's pointless at this point.
Yeah.
And I know it's not the big few that like you need to care about.
Hmm.
And most infections or, viruses that people get, they aren't identifiable. So it's like you just work through it.
Yeah.
But whatever this is has taken over the entire sorority world.
Yeah.
Every single sorority, because today clinical, I was talking to another girl. Two of them were actually in two different sororities, and they were literally saying how like everyone was hit with a wave of like everyone's coughing, everyone's losing their voice, everyone's mysteriously super ill, and no one knows what anyone has.
Yeah.
And you went and got tested, and you don't have anything,
No.
so you confirmed for everyone.
Yeah.
No one knows.
Well, she was like, you do need to take one of the at-home tests tomorrow morning. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
So tomorrow morning, I'll let you know.
Well,
But so far, I am feeling better than, I mean, probably from midday to about 1 today. That was the
that was
worst.
so bad.
And then now I'm starting to feel a little better. But I don't know why this is, but for me, when I sleep, that's when I everything reloads and I just feel sick again.
Yeah. It's almost like the stagnantness of it. It
Yeah.
either is like you go to sleep, you wake up and you're recharged, or you go to sleep and you're like, oh my gosh, that set in so bad.
Yeah. That's tends to be what happens for me. Also, this is weird. I know I have a fever when like oh, this is so weird, but the hair on my arms gets sensitive. Like that
Interesting.
hurts.
Yeah, wait, I think I know what you're talking about.
You do?
I think that kind of, yeah, I think everything just kind of, for me, everything gets kind of tight. Like all my joints, I just get
Mm,
kind of like stiff walking around.
yeah.
And then I think that, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, that sensation of like just sensitivity.
Yeah.
It's crazy how the body
It's
works.
okay. We're gonna
Yeah.
recover.
Well, y'all,
We're gonna wrap it up for tonight.
I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight.
We will record again soon. For
Yeah.
sure.
Don't know when. We have Auburn coming up, which probably will be the next recording, is we'll do an Auburn podcast with Brooke.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Lovely Brooke. Yeah. Well, wishing you all the best. Hopefully, not
Yeah.
too many crazy turns and
Yeah.
trials
Also,
reach us
please
before that.
please tell us that you're not all 35-year-old
Yeah,
men.
please tell me that the algorithm that YouTube is showing me is
You're
that you
like
aren't all
20-year-old
males that
girls.
are old. But if you are and you're supportive and you're normal and you're happy,
Please don't be weird.
welcome. Welcome. Please,
Right?
actually, if this isn't bots, please comment down below.
Yeah.
Also, I think only one person's gonna actually watch this thing through.
Yeah.
But if you did, just comment down below
And
so we
thank
know you're
you.
real. But thank you so much.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm kind of tempted to make a whole end of the podcast be like a
Me
5 minute long
coughing.
clip of you just coughing.
That it would be
I
five
think I
minutes.
might do it.
Okay, that would be funny.
Easy. I cutting it up.
Oh my gosh. Maybe you can hear him purring.
Come here. Okay. Continue your story. It's a train horn.